Today's stories include, is Steam coming to Xbox? A Split Fiction movie is in the works, and Atom Fall reviews are in. We'll have all this and more because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Yo, what's up? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Friday, March 21st, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Blessing, Adeoye Jr., and joining me is the first Berserker, Ben Starr.
Thank you so much. That's my official title. I always wondered how you do the cold open.
Oh yeah, we just go for it.
I mean, you flew through that.
Thank you.
It's
Listen,
really good.
I pride myself in 95% of the time getting it, and then there's that 5% where I just flub it like crazy.
Yeah, but you got to style it out.
You gotta like. I mean, there are those. You're a voice actor. You're a performer. So you're you're
Since when?
You're an actor.
Yeah.
You're an artist, right?
Yes.
So I think there are those days where you might just not have the energy, or you might just not have you're not as sharp as you are on your peak days.
Yeah.
And every now and then I wake up and it's just a random Tuesday where I try to read a thing and it just doesn't go my way.
It is so embarrassing when you have those days.
Yes.
Where you think you're absolutely it and you just biff the whole thing.
You just trip over yourself.
I get nervous now because I'll go.
You get nervous?
I get very nervous. I get very nervous.
I saw your GDC Awards performance from a couple days ago.
People are calling that a performance. Yeah.
It was incredible. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, listen, it was a performance to me, damn it.
I didn't see that back until you guys showed it back to me, and I went, "Oh no, what did I do?" I think I reacted to. I think Stella posted something on X about it, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Barrett.
Thank you. Stella posted something on X and I went, oh God, did I really do that? I blanked out and then I just ended up presenting the award.
I watched it. So I'm assuming Tim played that back on the show.
Yeah. I saw it and I went, oh, okay, cool.
Because I did add it to the doc here and I was like, Tim's probably already doing it. And so I'm glad I didn't double dip. Yeah. But I did watch it back like 10 times this morning.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah, just because I was like, this is such a... let me tell you, I admire the fact that, I became aware of you after Final Fantasy 16.
Yes.
Much of the gaming world, I think, became aware of you after Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah.
And you've done the thing that I always dream of it's the Eminem lyric of if you have a shot, take it. That's not how the lyric goes, but that's essentially the energy of it, right? You were put on the map, and then from there, you're like, I'm gonna show the world who peak Ben Starr is.
Yeah.
And you are just that over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And I love every second of it.
Thank you so much. I love it. I love video games. I love the community. I listen to you guys every day. I love being able to engage with a community that has given me so much. So I'm staying in this sandbox. People have given me a playground and I just want to stay there. Like,
I love that.
When they asked me to host the Golden Joystick Awards, I went, cool, but I want to make it weird. And I think that's cool. I'm trying to kind of be almost shamelessly, authentically myself. And if you like it, great. If you don't, I totally get it. There's other people.
What I think works about it the most, though, is when I hear you in games,
yes,
you're often these very serious, very gruff characters. We're going to talk about the first Berserker Khazan in a second, because, of course, it is GDC week. That's the big reason why you're here, right? You're here showing off and talking about the first Berserker Khazan.
Yep.
Which, I guess while we're here, we do have a clip.
We do.
First Berserker Khazan
we've got a first look. Which is just a really cool trailer. I mean, there have been a lot of first Berserker Khazan trailers come out over the past week or so, but this is, I believe, called the Masters of War one, which we play Bob Dylan over the top. I play Bob. I'm Timothy Chalamet. No, it's just a really cool trailer and a really cool game. And I think because first Berserker, yes, it's in the DNF universe. But it's almost like, reintroducing this franchise to people and making sure that people can kind of get into, here it is.
Yeah, Barrett's showing the visual right now. I
don't have audio up if Bob Dylan is playing, just because I feel like we might get claimed on that one.
Okay, that's fair. But
it's actually, they've kind of changed it. I think you might be able to play the audio.
Ooh,
let's see if we
can we play this with audio? Here we go.
Come, your masters of war. You build to destroy. You play with my world. It's your little toy, and I hope that you die.
Come on.
I follow your captain, and I'm sure that you're dead.
quite hype, isn't it?
As
super
an
hype.
avid fan of Bob Dylan, I never imagined his music would be used for a hype character action. Video
I'm
game trailer.
gonna say it's what he wanted. You know, this is
Yes.
this is what he hoped for.
But the fact that you're in games like this, you're portraying characters that are super serious, super gruff, but you are a super goofy dude.
Yep.
You are a very funny man.
I'm just a weird little guy. I saw that on Twitter. Someone said, "Oh, Ben plays all these really gruff characters, but ultimately he's just a silly little guy." And I love that because I take my work very seriously. First Berserker Khazan coming on the 27th of March, 2025.
Yeah.
And I love that I have the ability to do that, and people take the work that I do very seriously and recognize that, like, when I do something, I want to be as honest as possible. Clive is a very, very serious character. Khazan is broken when you first meet him in the game, and there's an incredible intensity to it. So I kind of want to offset that really by being just silly and me.
Yeah.
And I think you can be both. Like, I am not those characters. I am a person.
Yeah, you're Ben
And-
Starr.
Yeah, and I will do weird stuff for you if you want.
Oh man, I got a list.
I will do weird stuff for you.
Let's go. But yeah, of course, first Berserker Khazan is a game that I know many of us, Andy, is looking forward to.
Yep.
Played the demo. You look at the art style, you play the combat, and it's like, oh, this is going to be one that's going to hit for us.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for it. Where are you at? Of course, like I mentioned, you come through. You're Clive, right?
Yeah.
Since then, I see you get role after role. You're in Hades.
Yes.
You're in First Berserker.
Yeah.
You're in Date Everything.
Yes.
What's it like to be Ben Starr in 2025?
It's crazy. It's really, really crazy. I've kind of dissociated from the work a little bit, where I just turn up and I do it, and then I get to come on stuff like this. But I think it's really cool. I just love what I do. I really love it, and I want to do more stuff. And yeah, I play 17 doors in a game called Date Everything. So
like 17 different doors?
yeah, I mean I don't know how to kind of describe it. Dorian is all the doors in the house, but there are different versions of Dorian. So Date Everything is a game where you can literally date everything in the house, and you have people like I don't know, Laura Bailey and Neil Newbon playing various objects that come to life that you can choose to date if you want, and I play all of those. But the fact that I can do that and then do a game like the first Berserker Khazan, in video games, you can have that kind of like diversity, and you can play whatever you want. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited for people to play the game because you get a little nervous. I get a little nervous. I really hope that fans resonate with the work that we've done. I've spent so much time doing this, guys. Can you like it? But I just really want people to enjoy it, and I love seeing the gratification that people get from the work that we do. I love seeing the fan art. I love seeing the cosplays of everything. It's just so cool. And I've had so many people come up to me and say, what it is that you did has affected me in some capacity. Now, that doesn't happen with everyone, but that is a very, very rewarding experience. And in video games, I feel like it is heightened, you know, because you are not just a passive agent. You are an active agent of change in those games. You are playing the characters. And that is just really, really cool.
Well, we got a lot of super chats coming in. Of course, people are very excited that you're here. It's Topher 9000 writes in and says, "Love Ben Starr. Your latest Square ad spot was amazing. Thank you for Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy 8 forever."
Yeah, I know. I mean, they that Square Enix thing was a very silly thing, and I'm glad that they let me do it. I was insistent that I write in that Final Fantasy VIII is the game that you should play all the time. Yeah, what a cool thing to get to do. And
right? That you got to do the Balatro ad spot as well.
Yeah, I'm selling you games, guys. Balatro is weird because Balatro, as I call it in the trailer, it is a game that doesn't have any talking, and now I am kind of the de facto face of that video game. And that's just it. I'm so proud of the team. Like, I've become really close to them because I see them all the time, and God bless Wout. If you're watching,
shout out Wout.
Wout, man, that guy is getting some steps in every time he accepts an award. Every single time. The GDC awards.
The GDC awards
just went round and round and round and round and round all the time.
Amazing.
There you go. That's me as a clown. I was really proud when you used that picture of me for the Game of the Year thing. For the Balatro thing. That was cool.
I will. You said that earlier, and I will say it's because, you know, the way the desk is laid out, we have like a very thin area to represent a game. And so when I got the results, I was like, okay, Balatro. It was really hard to put a card there, and I was like, are there any like just people? And I was like, Ben is a people.
Yeah,
Ben is a people.
A lot of people don't know that that's me. They just see it as a silly joker, which is great as well. But yeah, what a What a cool thing. They also announced that they have playing cards.
I know.
Yeah, I have
Dude,
them.
I don't know why this is the thing where all week people are like, oh, have you gotten the Balatro playing cards?
got
I
them.
love that people associate with me with card games now. But yeah, I'm like, no, I've not gotten the
I
I've
should
not
have
gotten
brought
the
them
Balatro
with
playing
me.
cards.
I should have brought them with me to show people. I got given them. Local Funk gave me some, and then he went, "Wait a second, I don't even have any." And I was like, "Oh, you can have it back." But yeah, that's cool. I think that there is when a game is good, you can kind of do what you want, and their kind of marketing is so subversive.
Yeah.
And again, that's what it is, right? Is I want to be a part of good games. Like when I was cast in the first Berserker, I saw the first trailer ever at the Game Awards, and I was like, I want to be a part of that game because that looks cool. And so that's kind of my story into it, is kind of being from a fan of when I first saw it in, I think, 2023 to where I am now, where I get to talk about it and be a part of it. I think it's just really neat. And
Is there a game or a franchise that you would like to be a part of? This is your chance.
yeah, Mass Effect. Oh no, Mass Effect and Love and Deep Space. This is canon. I want to be in Love and Deep Space.
Love and Deep. Can you tell me what that is? Love and Deep Space.
It's an Atomi game. Those who know.
Love and Deep. I'm typing it out right now. Love and Deep.
It's official.
Space. Oh. All right.
You can date. Oh my God. Am I bringing Love and Deep Space to Games Daily right now?
Listen, Barry, can you look up Love and Deep Space? Oh man.
Can you?
I don't know if I want to.
I don't think you can.
Oh, let's get him into Love and Deep Space, everybody.
Can we?
All right.
Can there be a campaign? I commented underneath because I've got to thank Rebecca Ford, the creative director of Warframe, for introducing me to Love and Deep Space, and I just think I think it's really cool. It's very sexy. You can romance people. It's very graphic. But
Fuck yeah, dude.
And it's hugely successful. And I love that video games can be that, where they can cater to an audience that want catering to. And I think there we go.
I mean, this is an audience that needs catering to.
Yeah.
And I think this is an audience that would welcome Ben Starr in. With open arms.
It would be. I would have such a nice time. I commented goatee under one of their things, and people thought Ben Starr in Love and Deep Space. I'm not, but I'd like to be.
I'm sad that this is KG.
It has a period
Gamescast.
tracker, by the way, just so you know.
It's funny. You did just do. Oh, that's awesome. That's
yeah,
really cool.
it's incredible.
That's awesome. I know you just did a games cast with Tim. That'll go up sometime next week.
Yes.
I wish this was a games cast because I do have so many things I just want to talk to you about. But of course, we do got to get into the news.
Oh my God, yeah, sorry.
But
Hi,
no.
Games Daily, welcome.
Well, it's Games Daily. We're going to get into the news, but also I just want to shout out for audio listeners who didn't get to see the video thing, right? Love and Deep Space is a 2024 Chinese 3D Atomi game. It was developed and published by Paper Games, which was released for Android and iOS on January 18th, 2024.
Yeah.
If you're more curious, you can check that out. Before we move on, Barry, I just remembered that there's a thing I want to show, so I'm going to give you a second to get back to your station so I can talk about this. Because right before the show, Andy Cortez came in
Yes.
and was like, hey, did you catch the Future Game Showcase yesterday?
Yes.
And I told him, sadly, no, I missed it. And he said, hey, you got to check out this new trailer for this game, Metal Eden.
Yes.
Barrett, it's in the dock. Barrett has it pulled up. We are watching the trailer right now. This is, again, for Metal Eden.
These rings store thousands of citizen cores. Future inhabitants of Eden.
Oh, this looks cool.
Yeah, it
You
does.
have to reach the top chamber and break the last remaining seal. Dropped straight into a hostile zone. This is exactly what hyper
Oh, this is
were
hot.
made for. Unleash your hyper power. Rip their cores out. You know you want to.
In the name of
Oh, this
duty,
is, yeah.
courage, and truth,
Yeah, this is what I
will
want.
protect the citizens.
For audio listeners, this is giving Cyberpunk Doom.
It's giving heavy Doom.
Just like,
The-
first-person shooter,
Chunky weapons.
chunky weapons. All the gameplay we're seeing is just, there's
Free
just
demo?
action shooting. You're getting a free demo on April 8th. Oh, and the game is out May 6th. That's fucking awesome.
That looks amazing.
That looks... I love Andy knows me so well. Andy, if Andy sees a game and he's like, "Oh, that's a blessing game," he'll make sure it gets in front of me. And so I appreciate that, Andy Cortez.
Is that a single player game or is it multiplayer?
It looks to be single player.
Yeah.
Everything we just saw there looked like it was single player, so I'm assuming single player. That seems like it's very much going for the Doom style combat in a cyberpunk world.
Yeah.
Which I'm all about.
It sounds chunky. Shout out to the Future Game Show.
Shout out Future Game Show. We're going to talk a little bit more about things that happen in the Future Game Show, because remember, this is Kind of Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday, we run you through the nerdy news you need to know about live on YouTube, Twitch, and on podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, support us with the Kind of Funny membership on Patreon, YouTube, and now on Spotify and Apple Podcasts to get all of our shows ad-free, watch us record them live, and get a daily exclusive show. For a chance to be a part of the show, submit your thoughts and opinions as YouTube Super Chats as we go. Remember, we're an 11-person business all about live talk shows. Gamescast just happened, and it was Greg and Raj talking to Remedy about Control 2 and FBC Firebreak. Today, after KFGD, you're going to get Game Showdown with some fun special guests, one of them sitting right here, right next to me. After that is going to be AVP, Alien vs. Predator in review. Then after that is the stream, which is more of that Pokemon Nuzlocke. If you're a Kind of Funny member, today's Greg Weighs 18 minutes about FBC Firebreak's Game Pass and PlayStation Plus deal. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Delaney Twining, Carl Jacobs, and Omega Buster. Today we're brought to you by Shady Rays, MeUndies, and Factor, but we'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin with what is, and forever will be, the Roper Report. It's time for some news. We have 5 stories today.
A baker's dozen.
Starting with our number 1. Is Steam coming to Xbox? I'm pulling from Tom Warren at The Verge. Microsoft revealed earlier this year that it's combining the best of Xbox and Windows together for handhelds. And now the company is starting to drop the first hints at what that UI might look like. In a blog post about Xbox opening a billion doors, Microsoft briefly revealed a new Xbox UI that looks a lot more console-like across multiple devices and even appears to list Steam games. After briefly posting an image of a new Xbox UI across multiple devices, Microsoft quickly removed it once The Verge inquired about it. The image has a new Xbox UI that can be seen on a TV where you can clearly see the Steam label listed. The same UI with the Steam mention is also shown on the tablet and handheld versions. While the image appears to be a mock-up with owned games listed twice as well as action-adventure titles, I don't think the Steam label here is necessarily a mistake. Sources familiar with Microsoft's plans tell me the company is currently working on an Xbox app update that will show every game you have installed on your PC. That includes games from Steam and the Epic Game Store, and I understand Microsoft will label these games accordingly. I'm told Microsoft is still in the early stages of this Xbox app update, so the company might never ship the feature to list all your Steam games, but this mocked-up image shows how they might show up eventually. Xbox chief Phil Spencer has also previously hinted that PC stores like Epic Game Store and itch.io could one day arrive on Xbox consoles. Ben, first of all, what consoles/platforms do you tend to play on? Are you a PC person? Are you an Xbox person?
I have a PlayStation 5 and I play PlayStation since I was a kid, and I recently got a Steam Deck, so I am now obsessed with my Steam Deck. But this makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Because Xbox are clearly pivoting to, I want you to play me everywhere. Let's forget the box. Ironic that it's called a box, because that is not what they're doing. Yeah. I mean, whether this is true or not, I imagine that it is. It is a strategy where you say everything comes to Xbox. Everything is filtered through us. We are the place where you can play everything. We have Game Pass. We have Steam. We have. Thank you. This is it. Like they want to be absolutely everywhere, and what it means is that, like, oh, I play on Steam. Don't worry, you can play on Steam through Xbox. You can do everything through Xbox, because that's what they're providing now. They want to provide a service, and they become synonymous with that.
Which is, I think, fascinating. We've been talking about it for years now, of the shift of Xbox, where they're going, it being more of a platform than just a box. You know, that is a talking point that I feel like we repeat every week on this show. Yep. That said, I think getting to the place of seeing the mock-ups of, oh yeah, organized by your Steam games, even though you're playing on an Xbox platform, I think it's at first blush interesting, but then gets deep the further you go with it, right? I think at the first blush thing, I almost view it in the same way of, I can is a weird example, right? But I have Spotify on my phone.
Yeah.
If I want to, I can listen to just local files on Spotify, right? And like, I'm not necessarily listening to content through the Spotify service at that point. I'm listening to content I own separately outside of Spotify, but just using Spotify as sort of the conduit, right?
Yep.
Sort of just the player.
We're lazy. We are every human beings are lazy, and we're getting lazier, and we want ease of access. So basically, they're saying that, guys, you don't need to go anywhere else but Xbox because we have everything there. Because what is it? It would be extra clicks to go from Xbox to then go to Steam to then go to here. It's like you don't have to leave.
Yes.
You can stay here.
Which I think is actually a really good future. If we're able to get to a place, because I think one of the annoyances when it comes to PC as a platform is how everything is split up. There's Epic Game Store. Steam is obviously the most popular one that we're going to go to most of the time. But yeah, there's Epic. There's Xbox, right? There's itch.io. There's this. There's that. And I think in a lot of cases that can be a good thing because itch.io, I go there for a specific kind of experience. Right? But then it's like, all right, Epic Game Store, I'm only coming here for Fortnite. All right, cool. The Ubisoft Store, all right, cool. I guess I'm coming here for Siege. And then it gets to a thing of, at my PC at home, I have so many launchers installed, and my games are so split up between all these different things. If Xbox is able to simplify it to where, hey, if you're somebody who just wants to be in the Xbox ecosystem, guess what? We have made it so that you can boot up your Steam games through the Xbox ecosystem. I think that's good, like user interface stuff, right? I think that's good, user experience stuff.
It's so simple, but it's so effective.
Yes.
You know, we use Xbox ecosystem as a word. You don't really call PlayStation ecosystem because they don't really push it because they want you to buy the box.
Yep.
You know, obviously there's an ecosystem. It's the trophies. It's you know, it's naturally there, but they push it. We talk about it all the time. Every time I listen to the show, it's always, you know, Xbox ecosystem. That's what they're creating, something that is self-sustaining, something where you don't have to leave. And what happens when you go to Steam, when you click back out of Steam, you're going to go back into Xbox. You're going to go back into the user interface that they have there. That's it. They want to keep you there because there's money to be had there, and they're providing a very small convenience for you that means that this is possible. I think it's, you know, it's a matter of time, isn't it, before this happens? Interesting also, you know, there are rumors of this Xbox handheld, right? You know, what we're going to be playing, you know, it's what they want to make it as easy as possible to do that, and they are clearly pivoting to something that means that we have changed our business strategy. We've recognized where we are in the industry, and we're trying to do something different. We are zigging, we're zagging, and, you know, more power to them.
Ben, can I get crazy for a second?
Yeah, are we getting naked?
Can I get? I mean, listen,
is that what we're doing right now?
Listen. Can I get buck wild for a second?
Yeah.
Right. This is gonna be me putting on my
You love
tinfoil.
You love a tinfoil
I
hat.
love my tinfoil hat.
Have you got
Barrett,
one?
take me to. I have a lot of tinfoil.
Speculation
Barrett's taking me to
station.
Speculation station. Because we talk about Xbox, we talk about the shift, we talk about PC, we talk about how.
You're leaning back right now for audio listeners. He is like,
oh, dude. Because here's the thing. I'm trying to make this conversation fun.
Okay, great.
Right? We talk about all this.
Yeah, I need to lean back too.
Ben's also leaning back.
Yeah.
In Xbox, man, my phone's vibrating like crazy right now. I don't know what's going on. In Xbox shifting toward this more, hey, we're a platform.
Yeah.
There have been talks about, is the next Xbox like hardware thing going to be more of a, hey, you can download Steam on here if you want and play Steam games, right? You can download like different launchers and just play your PC games on your Xbox type thing. Is that a gateway to be able to play PlayStation games on your future Xbox? Because PlayStation is putting their games on Steam. Would there? I guess the question I'm asking is,
well, you're saying if you can get through Steam, then if they're going to put games on Steam, you can play.
You can play
God of
PlayStation
War
games on your Xbox. Is that crazy to say?
No, because obviously that's just another click, isn't it? Why would that? You know, but
it's also weird. It's also not. I guess. Not weird. I think it's one of those things where it's hard for me to imagine PlayStation lets that go PlayStation lets that go through. So what is like the line that's drawn?
Well, I think this industry is so entrenched in the idea of console wars, which you know, executives have recently admitted that they actively play into, because that was the best way of selling something to you. Because ultimately, it only matters so much as we sell units of something. And I think what's very, very clear over the past couple of years is that in order to achieve the infinite growth that we so wish, you know, there is a cap on how many consoles can be sold. We know that.
Yeah.
You know, we're not selling more consoles than the last generation. The console market isn't growing exponentially. So we need to figure out ways of doing that. And clearly the executives have got more data than they can ever have before. And they go, you can play it on different platforms. That's the best way, because we're only going to sell maximum. We're not going to sell more than the PS4. We might get up to that. So we know that the cap of consoles is there, but we still want the curve to go up. We want to make as much money as possible. So we'll put it elsewhere. Why does it matter? As long as we're all making money for our shareholders, who cares where you play?
1,000%. My hope would be that by the time we get there, where it is, okay, you can download Steam on your Xbox, PlayStation would stop looking at Xbox as such a direct competitor where they're like, we can't allow anything to be played on Xbox.
And like,
I think that'd be the dream if you can play anything anywhere.
There is an incredible brand loyalty to PlayStation, and I said that, what do you play? I play PlayStation. And they have created over the past 10 years an undeniable fingerprint there is something, so you can't explain it, but it's a PlayStation game.
Yeah.
Maybe like we're comparing these companies because they are in competition. I don't think they're in direct competition anymore. I think they realize that maybe we need to play a little bit nice, because actually if we play nice, we'll make a little bit more money. It played good in the Xbox 360, PS3 era. It played well with the openings of the PS4 and the handing off the discs and everything like that. But now that's not the messaging. That doesn't benefit us.
I am still waiting for the day they announce Helldivers is coming to Xbox, because I'm convinced it's going to happen.
I mean, what was the one that really shook it? MLB The Show. That was the one where that was the, oh my God, is this going to happen? It maybe that's what broke the dam, because it just kind of slowly went, oh, this is what's happening. And we've got Indiana Jones coming to PlayStation soon. People don't care. They just want to play good games. They don't care where they play it, as long as they get good games. You know, Expedition 33 coming day one Game Pass. Also, you can play it anywhere else.
Yeah,
you can play anywhere else.
One of the announcements from today, right? FBC Firebreak, the new game that's coming from Remedy, is going to be launching on PS Plus Extra and on Xbox Game Pass. Like that's
incredible.
Awesome.
That's cool. Everyone's playing nice. Everyone gets to play the game, because that's what we want. We want people to play games because playing games is fun. We want opportunities to express our joy and pleasure and have fun, and really, that's what we want to do. So play wherever you want to play, and hopefully, this is another step for Xbox being pioneers at. I mean, they're smart. Phil Spencer is a very, very smart man. Aaron Greenberg is a very, very smart man. They know their audience, and they also can see stuff that we can't see. They have access to analytics that we can't possibly comprehend. So they're doing stuff for a reason. Yeah, and I trust them.
I'm looking forward to seeing what the future has been. Let's talk about the future some more. With story number 2, a split fiction movie is in the works. A bidding war begins for the rights. This is Jennifer Moss at Variety. A film adaptation of Split Fiction, the hot new co-op game from It Takes Two developer Hazelight Studios, is in the works, Variety has learned. Sources at GDC in San Francisco have confirmed that the media company Story Kitchen, led by the same team that shepherded the It Takes Two game into a film project, now set up at Amazon, is putting together the film's cast, writers, and director into a package as offers for the rights keep coming in from multiple top Hollywood studios.
Wow.
Variety, which is on the ground at GDC this week, is continuing to monitor the bidding war with more details on the project to come. There's another one that we talk about as far as video game adaptations, video games being turned into TV shows, movies. This one, I think, is fascinating just for the fact that Split Fiction just came out, which I view more as, one, I think the game came out and had great reception, right? Especially great critical reception, but then also just the cachet that Hazelight has as a studio.
Yeah.
I think no matter what, this was going to get adapted because Hazelight, that is that studio right now.
Yeah.
They are in the spotlight.
They're it. Yeah. This doesn't surprise me. Look, when you are, what's been so amazing, there's a lot of the Hazelight team walking around GDC at the moment, which is cool to see the Hazelight hoodies and the Split Fiction hoodies. So shout out to them. They're really kind of doing a bit of a victory lap right now, and rightly so. This is what happens when you put a huge amount of hard work into redefining what it is to play a co-op video game. They are true pioneers. I really want to give a shout out to Brothers A Tale of Two Sons. As a game that when we talk about Hazelight, like that game, I remember playing that for the first time and thinking that is a special video game. And they have only kind of taken that idea of the idea of having two characters and how we can interface with those two characters, and they've expanded it again and again and again and again and again. And Split Fiction with the reviews, clearly, it's crazy, and I really hope that people continue to recognize it, and they are. This is not necessarily. This is game is popular. Let's turn it into something else.
Yeah.
And absolutely, Hazelight, get your bag.
Yeah.
This, I mean, is this being turned into a? I read this. Sorry to be really cynical, and it's like a Hollywood package. We're packaging stuff together. It takes a long time to make a film. It takes a long time to like. How many times have we been hearing about whatever IP is being snapped up? It's being snapped up because they want to make some money, and rightly so. But is anyone going to do anything with it? I don't know. But they want to make sure that no one else does.
Yeah, I think it's funny because the IP as far as release has existed for like 2 weeks. You know, it's not had time to like build a groundswell. We don't know in 2 years when this movie comes out. Are people still caring about Split Fiction like that? Are we talking about the Split Fiction 2 being developed, right? These things are hard to predict. The thing I will say, in a little bit of opposition, is Split Fiction, I think, is a wonderful video game, but my main complaint with it is that I don't think the story does a great job of being about what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
Have you played Split Fiction yet?
I literally, when I get back to the UK, I will play it because I need a person to play it with.
The premise of Split Fiction is that you have two story writers that essentially their minds get merged and you are going back and forth between their different stories. The problem I have with it is a lot of the time, moment to moment in this game, is that the stories that we're hopping into aren't good stories. They're good gameplay segments. And so you hop into a fantasy gameplay segment and it's, oh, I'm riding a dragon. And then you hop into a sci-fi gameplay segment and it is, oh, there's the sun's exploding. Oh, shit. But they're not really getting into the stories that are being told. And it feels like I hate to use the ludonarrative dissonance sort of thing, right? But there's a ludonarrative dissonance of, okay, these stories that we're hopping into are way more fun to play as video games than they are interesting as these storytellers that are diving into these things.
Yep.
I think if you're making a movie, you could remedy that. You could actually make these storytelling segments about actual interesting fantasy stories and actual interesting sci-fi stories and make it more about the writing and how that loops back into what these characters are going through. Because that's the one thing where I'm like, I don't know if you nailed this in Split Fiction, even though the gameplay is fantastic from beginning to end.
That's because it's a video game. You know,
Yes.
it's a perfect execution of a great video game, and they are very, very clever because they have gone, how can we have a 2-player game that you can have one person buy it and then you can both play it, and it does it so well. Clearly, the gameplay, everyone talks about how highly it is, how they speak so highly of it, and they basically say how good it is and that it feels like the perfection of a formula that they've been working on again and again and again because they work in video games. Now you put that in a film, you just recontextualize whatever story that is. Also, blessing, they did a Battlefield film with Rihanna, you know, like not Battlefield, a battleship. Battlefield. No, wait, this is canon. They did a Battlefield. They did they did a Battleship film with Rihanna. You can turn anything. You can turn anything into a film. I think I would love to see the team who worked on this game have some narrative say in it because I think that's very important. But this is just people buying stuff because they want to buy stuff. Good luck to the team. Get your bag.
Do you think there's going to be a bubble that bursts with all the video game adaptations happening where people are like, ooh, actually maybe we shouldn't just adapt things because they're video games or because they're
half of them are going to be
video games?
cancelled. Like you don't like film and TV. So this is a bit of a rant.
Yeah.
Film and TV. So many projects are developed. Development takes years and years and years and years and years. And some happen quicker, you know, this idea of packaging up things. Do we get X directors to do X, Y, and Z? But these announcements are there to create hype. These announcements are there to be like, people are bidding. Is there a bidding war? Absolutely. But this is to enhance the bidding war.
Yes.
Like this is a project that will, you even said it, there's an It Takes Two thing in development. It Takes Two came out a long time ago. Like we all just want to take IP because IP is something that, again, I'm so sorry, I feel cynical today. Money, 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 money.
I mean, you're right.
It's what it's about.
Yeah.
You know, and more power to them. They've made an amazing video game, and I really, really hope that this comes off for them. But what does this mean in essence? I don't know.
Yeah. I'm also like, what are we building to? If Split Fiction was a franchise, or if It Takes Two was a franchise, then I can kind of see the, the businessy franchise synergy aspect of it and all this, right? So I don't get a sense that there's going to be a Split Fiction 2. I don't get a sense that there's going to be an It Takes Two 2. I think they're probably going to make their next IP co-op game, which we're all going to be excited about and play, right? But if there's not going to be a franchise of this, do you need to turn both of these into movies? Or it's a thing that I'm very curious about.
It just something clicks in my brain. Bless. We're in the opposite of the mid 2000s, where every movie got a video game adaptation.
Yep.
And now it's just like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird how things switched in the last 20 years, where we were getting Batman Begins the game, and now we're getting Split Fiction.
Split Fiction the movie.
Mm-hmm. And
why?
You are in the business of making content, and I feel that film and TV is very much moving in the direction of content, because there is literally stuff to fill. Streamers, everyone needs an opportunity to sell their platform, so they create content. And how do you create content? Is by building up IP, because it costs money to create an entirely new IP. So if you can bring in an audience to play something, to watch something, then you just know that you're going to have an audience that are going to watch it in the first place. That's all people want. It was comic books, and now it's video games. I mean, it's always been video games, you know?
Yeah. But now, I mean, the video game movies started getting good.
They're great.
And then they started getting so good that everybody's like, all right, now let's make bad ones again.
Yeah.
Let's just greenlight everything, which is going to lead to more bad ones. But hopefully, I mean, and I think surely it's also going to lead to good ones. The fact that we got a Fallout TV show, that was excellent.
Yep.
Hey, I'll take 2 bad, video game movies or video game TV adaptations for one good one any day.
That's because Lisa Joy and Jonah Nolan did Fallout. And if anyone's a Westworld fan, then just that some of the work that they did on Westworld, particularly the second season, is actually sensational. And they are people who understand it. Yeah. And they understand how to translate video games and the power of what video games can present to the screen. And they're playful with it. I think it's a sensational TV show. And I really hope that people take it seriously. They don't take it as a cash cow. They don't come along and be like, we've come a long way since Pac-Man. I want like, I don't play games, I'm doing this. I think I want people to understand the material, and more importantly, why it resonates with people.
Oh, yeah.
And so why is it being bought in the first place? It really upsets me, because I feel that, like, a lot of people go, I don't play games, I can't play games. And you shouldn't have to in order to make something, but at least understand it.
Yeah. What is special about this IP? What is special about this story? What is special about Metal Gear Solid or God of War? Or I think Last of Us is a good example of, all right, cool, you kept Neil Druckmann on the project, somebody who understands what makes Last of Us special, to work on the Last of Us TV show with somebody who's talented in the TV industry as well, right?
And now what is it? It's the most watched trailer for HBO Max ever. Because people want to watch it, and you get brilliant actors giving brilliant performances with a script written by people who genuinely care about it. Don't be Richard Gere in Pretty Woman and just pluck it or tear that thing apart, you know? Like, if anyone doesn't know, there's a Pretty Woman reference where Richard Gere comes in and buys companies and tears them apart and guts them for parts. And I feel like that is what it is sometimes. They want the name, but they don't know what the name represents.
Yeah.
They just use the IP, but not actually what the essence of that is.
Ben, I want to keep talking about more video game news. But before we do, I want to tell you about patreon.com/kindafunny and youtube.com/kindafunnygames, where you can get the Kinda Funny membership, which allows you to get shows ad-free. And speaking of ads, let us tell you about our sponsors.
This episode's brought to you by Shady Rays. Get ready for the season ahead with quality shades built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company offering a world-class product rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Plus, if your shades ever go missing or an unexpected hit happens, don't sweat it. They have the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair is backed by lost or broken replacements. If you don't love your shades, exchange for a new pair or return worry-free within 30 days. Y'all know I've been outside in the sun a lot playing Pokemon Go, and it's such a great experience wearing Shady Rays when I'm out and about looking dope. Exclusively for you, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal. Head to shadyrays.com and use code FUNNY for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Again, go to shadyrays.com, use code FUNNY to get 35% off polarized sunglasses. This episode is brought to you by Factor. Ready to optimize your nutrition this year? Factor has chef-made gourmet meals that make eating well easy. They're dietitian approved and ready to heat and eat in 2 minutes, so you can fuel right and feel great, no matter what life throws at you. Greg Miller has been loving how simple it is to enjoy his Factor meals as he's rushing between shows each day here at Kinda Funny. Factor arrives fresh and fully prepared, perfect for any active, busy lifestyle. With 40 options across 8 dietary preferences on the menu each week, it's easy to pick meals tailored to your goals. Choose from preferences like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, or Keto. Eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/factorpodcast and use code FACTORPODCAST to get 50% off your first box, plus free shipping. That's code FACTORPODCAST at factormeals.com/factorpodcast to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. This episode's brought to you by MeUndies. For years, I've been telling you all about how much I love MeUndies. Real talk, I haven't worn a pair of underwear or socks that weren't MeUndies in over half a decade. And that's because I just love how premium they are, how great they look, and awesome they feel. Even my loungewear at home is MeUndies, and I cannot recommend their various shirts enough. MeUndies just gets it. From the all-black classics to fun expressive prints, MeUndies has a look for everyone. Plus, they come in sizes XS to 4XL, so there's something here for all of you. Its breathable, stretchy, and oh so comfy fabric make it ideal for all-day wear. And they use sustainably sourced materials and work with partners that care for their workers. Rad. Good things come in big packages at MeUndies. Get 20% off your first order plus free shipping on orders of $75 or more at MeUndies.com/kindafunny. Enter code KINDAFUNNY. That's MeUndies.com/kindafunny. Code KINDAFUNNY for 20% off MeUndies. Comfort from the outside in.
And we're back, and we're going to talk about Atom Fall. But before we do, Ben, I checked the super chats. We got a lot to get through. I want to throw some of these at you. Zeke Speak writes in and says 2 things. 1, I fucking love you, Ben. You're such a star. And 2, Ben, how much money can I give you to stream a party game with Jen English, Lucy James, and Alana Pierce? Content gold right there for you royalists.
Don't give me any money. I'll do it for free. They're really lovely. They're 3 of my favorite people. So, yeah, I'd do that.
Hell yeah. Nitro writes in and says, was surprised to see Ben in You Season 4.
Yeah, I was in You Season 4. I loved doing that. And I want to say the cast of that show is wonderful. And so, yeah, I play a billionaire in it, and I come on, and I that was a real kind of pinch me moment. But yeah, the cast are incredible. You come onto a show like that when it already exists, and you just think, oh, how's everyone going to be? And just the nicest.
Can I tell you, delighted me to see you in You, just because I fucking love you.
Yeah.
The You TV show is, since season 1.
It's coming back. It's coming back, new season.
Do we know when? Has it been announced yet?
I think so, yeah. It's been announced.
I can't wait.
They're great. Also, the team are really lovely, and they know what they make. You know, they've made it's a wild show. That season 4 is wild.
Yeah, because it's garbage for people like me.
But it's good.
It's
good.
Junk food, dude, and it's such good junk food.
It feels good. Yeah.
Jordan Andow writes in and says, "Hey Ben Starr, we're both from Bristol, and I'm a massive fan. With this knowledge, can I entice you to come on to one of my podcasts? You've worked with my good friends Naaman from Playstack and Matt Phillips from FGS.
I have worked with both of those. Yes. What we're going to do? Just like best places to go out in Bristol. Oh, it'd be great.
The Bristol cast.
The Bristol cast.
One, the 2 people that are going to do a whole podcast about Bristol.
We'll do it live from Cabot Circus. That's a real Bristol reference right there.
Oh yeah. JMZ B47 writes in and says, "Thanks KF for the laughs and being a point of connection when I met Ben at Otakon. Among many FF fans, it was fun to chat about KF, E33, and SOTE."
There you go. Like one of the really neat things is people who haven't played games that I'm in just know me from Kinda Funny. They're like, "You're Ben from Kinda Funny."
I love that.
Which I love. Yeah.
Dude, I was at I've been playing a lot of Magic recently, so you might have heard. And I went to a Magic pre-release to, just play some games at a card shop, and I ran into a guy that's like, "Hey, you're Blessing." And I was like, "Oh yeah, what's up, dude?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I loved you from that one episode of FPS that you're on." The Friends Per Second podcast. And I was like, oh, that's fucking awesome. Like, you don't even know me from Kinda Funny. You know me from when I guested on one episode of a different show.
I think I'm going to butcher him. I think his name is Killian. Heathrow Terminal 5, before I flew out here, he recognized me from Giant Bomb. He's like, "You're Ben from Giant Bomb."
Hell yeah.
And I was like, great. And he doesn't really play many games. He's just like, he loves Giant Bomb.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, great.
He loves the quick looks.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, it's Ben. And then I'll do this last one from Sort by First Name, who writes in and says, "Just paying my birthday tax as I turned 30 yesterday. I've actually spent the week away in Ben's Ends with all my family near Keynsham, technically.
Keynsham,
Bristol adjacent."
Yeah, cool. I'm loving these Bristol references.
Yeah, a lot of. I don't think I was super aware of Bristol.
No, I mean, Bristol is beautiful. Oh my God, Bristol's amazing. I went to Queen Elizabeth's Hospital. It sounds really fancy, doesn't it? That was my school. And I was head boy.
Can I get a happy birthday to sort by first name, but as Clive?
Sort by first name. Have an iconic birthday. Do it for me. Do it for you. There you go.
I love that. That was fantastic, Ben. All right, it's time. Let's hop into story number 3. Adamfall. We got a review roundup for you. To set the stage a little bit, I'll read from the Steam description. A nuclear disaster has left an area of Britain in tatters. Adamfall, a new survival action game, will see you explore, scavenge, craft, barter, and fight your way through beautifully recreated scenery in search of answers. Right now on Metacritic, it is sitting at a 76. On OpenCritic, it is sitting at a 77. Greg Miller has played some Adamfall, so he's going to come join us for a second
My best
to talk
friend.
a little bit about it.
You're my best friend, aren't you, Greg?
I am, Ben. I love you so much.
Yeah, we're
Thanks for
such
playing
good
around with me.
friends.
You know what I mean? Just have some fun about it.
you brought out the portal.
Don't get all tight about it.
Oh, you had to boot it up on the portal.
yeah,
Look
I
at
mean,
that.
I've been playing
You've been
Adamfall.
playing
I
it
figured
on
I'd
the
put more.
portal.
Yeah. I love the portal. I don't know if you hear that. You can play it.
I have a portal.
Yeah, you do. You're my man. You know what I mean? I've always liked you better than Lucy James.
To set the stage some more, I'm going to read a couple of reviews here. I'm going to start off with Tristan Ogilvy at IGN, who gave it an 8 out of 10 and says, Adamfall is a gripping survival action adventure that takes some of the best elements of Fallout and Elden Ring and synthesizes them into its own fresh mutation. It presents a picturesque chunk of English countryside littered with alluring structures to pique and reward your curiosity, eccentric locals to meet, and absorbing mysteries to unravel, and uses classic iconography from British sci-fi and horror to consistently unsettling effect. In spite of some enemy behaviors that are occasionally less stable than a reactor in Meltdown, Adamfall is a compelling post-apocalyptic survival story that satisfyingly bends to your choices and discoveries no matter which direction you take. Then I got one more from Nathan Warby at Dexerto, who gives a 4 out of 5 stars to the game and says, Adamfall shakes off the Fallout comparisons and stands on its own as a captivating sci-fi mystery. The gripping central story and wonderfully realized setting makes it easy to forget about its shortcomings, and the lack of handholding is a refreshing change that other open-world games like Elder Scrolls or Assassin's Creed should take note of. And Greg pointed back at the computer.
You got one more, the rock, paper, shotgun. Give it to him.
Oh yeah, I'll give you the rock, paper, shotgun one. They gave it an unscored review and says, Adamfall looks and sometimes plays like a middling survival shooter, but its passions truly lie in exploration and investigation, and it's much better at both.
Hi.
Hello, Greg.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm great.
Now, what are your thoughts on Adamfall? You wanted me to read that last one. Is that for a particular reason? Is that
Well, I think
reflective?
the other ones are very glowing.
Yeah.
And then that one's a little bit more like, it's middling survival shooter stuff here, because that's my takeaway. I'm only 4 hours in, so GDC's been kicking my ass. We've only had a little bit of time with this one. But there's something there.
Okay.
There is something there. It's that thing where it's like, it gets like, I think I'm running around and I'm like, going from place to place, I feel like the environment can be pretty empty, and I'll stop off and check in buildings trying to loot, and I'm like, all right, there's one bullet here. I'm like, that wasn't as rewarding. But what they're doing with the leads, which is what they're hinting at and talking about there, right? Of like, rather than get a quest and have the big diamond to go to, you get a lead. Like I went and talked to the baker, and the baker mentioned, of course, that I was already had this main mission from the start of the game that I won't ruin, the main lead.
Yeah.
Baker then is like, oh yeah, my husband did this, and now he's acting funny, and he thinks he found this thing over there, and it's like, okay, cool. And even when I track the lead isn't going bing dot over here. It'll say like, oh, you should go check the control, the baker mentioned the control room or something like that, but then I gotta find the control room. I gotta go dig for that.
So a lot of comparisons to Fallout,
Yeah.
like leading up to this game.
And you gotta throw that shit out.
And that was going to be my question.
Yeah.
In watching the trailers, I get Fallout, but I also don't get Fallout.
I think there's plenty to compare to Fallout. Obviously, from even perspective, there's a disaster with this atom planter, right? So it all sounds kind of like this, whatever. But the faster you get away from that, the better. Like when I started playing it, I literally played the first 45 minutes, paused it, and then went and watched one of the developer videos to see how they talked about it. And they talk about being a first-person survival RPG.
Yes. Like I don't really, even in the Steam description or even in the reviews, I don't see the words RPG thrown out as much. Survival action feels
exactly
like more
right. And so when I'm playing this, it feels way more like the games I'd see like Rust or like what Snowbike Mike and the Jabroni Boys would play and go out and chop wood and build their little communities and whatever, playing together in this survival setting. Except this one, it is by yourself. The Fallout comparison is apt, I think, in terms of like when you're talking to people, you have all these different dialogue options that can lead and do different things and stuff like that in terms of how you talk to them and then what you get for your lead and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And like.
And also, to be fair, they called the game Atomfall. Like, of course, people are going to compare this to Fallout.
And on, when I'm on the main quest, it does feel very Fallout of, okay, I've infiltrated right now where I'm at. I've infiltrated this prison. I've talked to this doctor that I knew a lot about. I've been trying to find or whatever for a while now in this game. What happens from there? And there is you get skill points, you go in, you apply them to these buffs and things like that. But it is way more like my inventory is super limited, right? I can't carry everything I want to carry. I'm dying in combat a lot. I'm dying a lot getting into this because you're gonna die in this game and figuring stuff out. There is a lot of cool if this then that kind of stuff happening that is Fallout to a degree, but it's like I talked to the baker and she wanted me to help her husband. When I went up there instead with the key I had, just beat her husband to death, and then she came up to fight me and I beat her to death. You know what I mean? It's like then the world does that, and even in this prison section I'm in right now, right? I was wandering around because I had approval because I did this guy's mission that I wouldn't have had to have done. I could have snuck in and do this, but I did that. Then I'm there. I'm like, okay, what's this? And I open the door and it's like, oh, this is the yard, and all the prisoners start coming up the stairs to go, you're not a guard. Why is the door open? And then they all just rush out, and then the alarms are going, and I'm fine. I'm not in trouble, but they're shooting the prisoners in the street. And I'm like, okay, that's a cool little quirk of where we're going with this.
Now, you might have sold me on this because that sounds fucking awesome.
I think there's plenty around the edges that I think's rough, but it's also it's rough in the terms of onboarding. I think if I sit down and I play this all weekend and it's the game I play all weekend, I think on Tuesday when I come back and talk to you about it, it'll be like, okay, I've got the vibe and I've got the flow. Because what I did initially was, okay, I'm going to treat it like Fallout. I have this, backbone for what it is, and now I'm just going to go off in all these different directions. And so then all of a sudden I'm running into this weird purple beehive, and these bees are coming at me and they're actually doing damage. Like, this fucking sucks. And then it is like, again, long stretches of like, there's nobody. And then I get into combat and I'm like, this combat doesn't feel great. Like, I don't love the combat so far, but again, maybe as I figure out what this game is, it'll be a different story.
May I ask you a question?
Yes, you may.
Kingdom Come Deliverance was a game like that, which was incredibly popular and was rough around the edges, but ultimately spawned a sequel, which people seem to be absolutely obsessed with. Do you think that something like Atomfall can do a very similar thing where it's going, this is a great first proof of concept and you want to see a sequel to it?
1,000%, 100%. I mean, you're going to see, I think already what they have here, you're going to see a lot of people go to this and get behind it. Because again, it's the same thing we're talking about with Hell Is Us, the upcoming shooter that's like, we're not going to hold your hand. Like, that's what this is, right? Of like, figure it fucking out. Like, we're not going in and giving you the waypoint, not doing this. Like, I was at a fucking Hoover Dam power plant probably way earlier than I should have been, but you can do whatever and trying to figure out what it is, and then an hour later I get a device, I'm like, oh, that would make this, you know what I mean? Like, there's all this stuff that the game's doing that's really interesting.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, you've kind of sold me on Atomfall.
Okay.
I was coming into this episode not as like, I'm gonna play this kind of thing because
I definitely think it's worth trying.
Yeah.
I think it's a trial, and then even then it might be give it a couple hours to see if you warm up to it, if you do it, because again, I put it down a couple days ago, and then picking it back up today, I was like, okay, there's. Okay. Yeah, I think if I just give it a chance, I'm gonna get hooked and really be into it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us,
Greg.
Greg.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for hanging out, Ben.
You're so welcome.
Thank you. How long are you here?
Forever. I leave tomorrow.
Okay. Well, they're ordering pizza, so I didn't know.
Oh, yeah, great.
Is it Square Podcast?
Oh, how long am I here
Greg says
today?
it's expensive, so.
Long time.
Patreon.com. So it's kind of funny. Please help. I want Square Podcast, guys. Story number 4. Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation are teaming up for Accessible Games Initiative. This is Evan Campbell at GameSpot. The Entertainment Software Association has unveiled the Accessible Games Initiative, which aims to help people understand accessibility features available in video games. The US-based effort came about from some of the biggest companies in the industry: Nintendo of America, Sony, Microsoft, Google, EA, and Ubisoft. The Accessible Games Initiative is kicking off with 24 tags. So far, they're categorized under 4 different features: auditory, gameplay, input, and visual, and then specified from there. For example, there's a full input remapping tag, meaning the game offers the ability to swap button actions, joystick functionality, and other controls. This differs from the basic input remapping tag. Advertising only buttons can be reconfigured. Other official tags include narrated menus, playable with mouse only, color alternatives, and large text. These should start appearing on digital storefronts and product pages in the near future. Quote, tens of millions of Americans have a disability and often face barriers to experiencing the joy and connection that comes with playing video games, ESA president and CEO Stanley Pierre-Louis said in a press release. Specifically, the Accessible Games Initiative website points out that 44.1 million U.S. residents have a disability, with reportedly almost half of them playing video games. The ESA states that Amazon Games, Riot, Square Enix, and WB Games have joined the Accessible Games Initiative. Ben, this is fucking awesome.
Yes. Yes. It's a good news story.
It gives you the vibe of what they do with ESRB, right? Of which is also an ESA organization thing, right? Of, hey, let's combine forces. Let's give people the visibility on what they can expect to experience in this game, and hopefully use that as encouragement for devs to include more accessibility options now that we're standardizing putting this on store pages.
It's just cool. We're in 2025 now, and more people can play more games in the ways that they are able to, and I think that's really important, you know. And this is hopefully representative of where we're going in this industry, where more people can do stuff. The IGF Awards, you have the I think it's Control Alt something about the award for basically like different types of controllers that you can do, and about how differently we can interface with video games and how inventive they are. I know you saw there's the cat slapping game that everyone saw there, but I think that finding different ways in which we are able to interface with those games and whatever our accessibility needs are, and also if we can't see certain things on a game, things that we may not necessarily understand, because I'm very lucky. I'm not colorblind. I have all of my limbs that are fully usable. It's like, it's a wonderful, wonderful thing to see that we are recognizing this and we're making it easier for people to understand how they can play these games easier than ever before. I just think it's just neat. And you can tell, like, this is the way we're going. Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, Google, EA, and Ubisoft.
All the biggest names that you need there.
And we're all in. We're all in, and we should be all in.
Yep.
And continue to.
I think this is very smart. I think this is very awesome. And I think this is very big news. But Ben, if I wanted something smaller, say the tiniest news I needed to know about, where would I go?
You go to our last story, the Wii News channel, where we cover all the small news items you need to know about.
Story number 5. It's Wii News. FBC Firebreak has gotten a new trailer and is coming to PS Plus Extra and Game Pass Ultimate in the summer. We talked about it with Remedy on today's Kind of Funny Games cast, so go check that out. From Gematsu, Devolver Digital and Francis Colombe announced pixel art survival horror RPG Look Outside for PC, and it's available now. Here's the thing. This is a shadow drop. I have played a little bit of Look Outside. I got the email about this quite a few days ago. It's really cool getting an email for a game where they're like, hey, this ain't announced yet, but you can get a review code. And I'm like, oh, really? So it is survival horror, but it's also a 16-bit RPG. Think like Earthbound or in any Final Fantasy, right? And shit is fucked up. Like, the first thing that happens is, as your character, you wake up in your room from having a nightmare, and your neighbor's like looking through like a crack in the wall, and they're like, hey, don't look outside. Don't look outside. And I looked outside, just the scariest animation you've seen in 16-bit.
I'm seeing this stuff.
This game is wild. I've not played as much of it because, like, honestly, I'll be real. I was playing it at nighttime, and I was like, I can't do this right now.
Bless,
I can't do this right now. This shit would stress me the fuck out.
Okay.
It's being published by Devolver Digital though, and so if this sounds up your alley, I'll say look it up.
Massively does.
It is, I think, $10
on Steam.
On Steam, yes.
I will be playing this on the flight home.
There you go. Yeah, I'm opening up the Steam page because I have it here. Yeah, $10 to buy Look Outside. It is out today, and it looks absolutely wild.
Incredible.
This next one is from VG Charts. Publisher 3D Realms and developer Onshar Studios have announced a reimagining of the classic first-person shooter franchise Painkiller for PS5, Xbox, and PC. It'll launch this fall. And honestly,
looks good.
Looks good.
Look good.
I've never been a Painkiller person, but I'd play this. This looks awesome.
3D Realms, awesome, man. Iconic logo. I'm just saying, like, they make great games, but like the logo,
no,
man.
You're right, though. They do have an iconic logo.
Are they keeping the logo? Is the logo still the same? God, I love it.
They better. South of Midnight has gone gold. Let's go. From Aftermath via The Wrap is a report. Valnet has blacklisted freelancers who complained about pay rates. I'm actually going to make this required reading for you. The article starts off, we wrote about Valnet's low pay rates in a previous article about how underpaid freelancers are popping up in games journalism. Today, new reporting by The Wrap shines more light on what's going on behind the scenes of the owner of the sites such as Game Rant, The Gamer, and DualShockers. The Wrap reports that Valnet maintains a spreadsheet of blacklisted freelancers, which for 2025 contains over 400 names of writers barred from writing for the company for offenses such as posting Valnet rates on social media, calling rates abysmal, and suggesting Valnet put rates in job listings.
Wait, does that mean that they'll blacklist me if I talk about it?
I mean, yeah. Do you want to write a review for Game Rant?
No, but will they blacklist me from talking about it and interviewing me? It's okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know,
Thank God people are drawing attention to it. That's what I'm saying.
It's the sucky thing of where games media and games journalism is at, where people are getting paid pennies out here, and people can't even talk about the fact that they're getting paid pennies without being blacklisted from the websites that want to pay them pennies. You know?
It's desperate. It's a desperate attempt to basically try and control the voices, but fundamentally you're trying to blacklist people who are very good at writing things. So good luck to that.
They got AI that'll do it. It'll be bad.
Oh, yeah.
They got AI that'll very poorly write their reviews for them.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with that. Pokemon TCG Pocket Booster Shining Revelry launches March 27th. It'll add shiny Pokemon and Pokemon from the Paldea region.
I don't need shiny Pokemon, bless. There's too many Pokemon already.
But then, like, what if it's shiny? You'll get even more excited. You'll get more dopamine.
God damn it.
If I open a shiny Pokemon, y'all are not gonna hear the end of it. I'm gonna be so fucking hyped. if I open a shiny little Pikachu, oh man. Monster Hunter Wild's first free title update showcase is set for March 25th at 7 a.m. Pacific time. Dave the Diver's DLC, Ichiban's Holiday launches.
My boy Ichiban.
April 10th is when we're getting that. You a Dave the Diver fan also?
I am, yes, but I'm a
there you go.
huge Ichiban fan. I think he is best boy. I love him.
He's such a good character.
I love him.
For the little bit of Like a Dragon and Infinite Wealth that I played, Ichiban is so fucking good.
Yeah, love him.
And then lastly, Wuthering Waves is coming to Steam, and that is it for Wii News. Before we get out of here, let me take one more peek at the super chat to see what people are saying. PS Witch writes in and says, "Thanks, Ben, for being you and a great representative for us gamers. Hopefully, I'll see you at PAX East, and happy weekend, KF crew and chat."
You will. My D&D group is going to PAX East, so come and watch us live. We'll play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Ben, you're getting a lot of love in the super chats. Mr. Hawks writes in and says, "I met Ben at TGS last year, and it was the highlight of my whole trip. Super nice. Didn't hit me. Amazing dresser. Thanks for being awesome,
I didn't hit
Ben."
you.
Yeah, you didn't hit him.
That's good. I mean, if you
Everybody else must have hit him.
yeah,
on the
apparently I must have
He's heard the stories.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't hit people, I swear. But thank you so much. That's really lovely.
Unless you pay money, they'll hit you.
If you want me to, I will.
Nando Tarichi writes in and says, "Hi, Ben. Are you attending any cons in Europe soon?"
Yes. There you go. I can't say anything more, but maybe
But you will be in a...
Yeah, I don't like. I do some conventions, but I don't do others, and it's because I'm very busy doing other things. But I would love to kind of meet more people in person because obviously there are so many wonderful people out there who've supported me, and I really appreciate it.
Jordan Andow writes in and says, and this is the person I was talking about their podcast earlier. They say, "We can talk about whatever you like on my podcast. Oh, and Final Fantasy 16 is my favorite. Clive forever."
Yeah, I love Clive, my boy.
Also love Final Fantasy 16. What a fucking game.
Yeah, man. It's just the game, isn't it? It's the game that changed my life. So thanks.
I mean, you're welcome.
Thank you.
I
Thank
came
you.
on here.
Thank you,
and
everyone.
I said it good.
Yeah,
I said it's good.
You said nice stuff.
I
Thank
said,
you.
you know what? Good video game, that Final Fantasy 16.
Thank you.
I like a game that lets me push buttons and just fucking go crazy, doing air combos and shit. Ben, that is all of the super chats. So we're going to hop into kindafunny.com/you're wrong, where you can write in, let us know what we got wrong as we got it wrong so we can correct it for those watching later on YouTube and listening later on podcast services around the globe. We don't have much wrong here, it looks like.
Is it just everyone complaining about my Pretty Woman reference?
No, it's one person complaining about the Gamescast, about our... Oh, I don't know if they're complaining.
People don't complain. They're there. It's constructive criticism.
They're
and that's
saying
really
stuff
cool.
that doesn't concern me because they're talking about correcting Greg on Assassin's Creed Shadows, but I don't even know if what they're saying is good. And then Kebabs writes in and says, Ben commented that he plays a clown in the Balacho trailer. He, in fact, plays a Joker.
I play a Joker. I know. Yes, that is correct.
But the Joker is a clown, though, right?
Jokers and clowns, they're,
yeah.
You're telling me, you're going to sit here and tell me that there's a difference?
it's a blurred line, bless.
There is a difference.
Because there's jesters who I feel like serve a different purpose than just a clown.
Also, Jimbo is a Joker. That's who he is. He's a Joker in the deck.
Yes.
So I'm really sorry, and I'm also sorry to the team at PlayStack that I've misrepresented their game and my role in it.
The Joker is the name of the clown on the card. See, that's Jesus.
Well, his name is Jimbo.
His name is Jimbo, but he's a Joker. But a Joker is a clown.
Crazy, right? This is really great content. We had a great show, and now we're going to really kind of like circle back onto this.
I'm holding back because I'm trying to wait
angry.
to see if I'm wrong about this. Corey Pichu just says, "Bless, you can be pissed about this."
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a fire growing within.
You're really angry, and
tell
I
me,
need you to calm down.
Bring up Jimbo, Barrett. Bring up Ben as Jimbo. I know we're going over now.
No,
I was going to try and end this on time.
You're leaning back again. Are we going to go to speculation
You
station?
specifically made a point during the ad break to be like, I'm going to get us out at this time.
I know, and I'm 4 minutes past it, but I need to see this fucking... You're telling me that's not a clown? I guess I can see the jesterness of it, but it's both. You're a jester and a clown here.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
That makeup took so long to get off.
We're going to sign off.
I just look at that. I remember that day. I had to get back on a train after doing that, and I was just had white and red. I looked like I had eaten a human being because there was so much red around here. I couldn't get it off. Thank you.
Ben, thank you for joining me on this episode of Kind of Funny Games Daily. I purposely kicked off Tim. Tim was supposed to be here with you.
Yeah, but I like it. Like, I spend a lot of time with Tim, and Tim is a very good friend, and I appreciate him, and I love doing new things.
I got tired of Tim hogging all the Ben time because I wanted to hang out with you, Ben.
Yeah, and I want to take this moment to say thank you, everyone, for supporting me, but also please go and play the first Berserker Khazan on the 27th. It's a really, really neat video game, and the team have put a lot of work into it, and maybe if you haven't played a hardcore action RPG before with Souls-like elements, this might be your first rodeo, so just have a good time.
There you go. The game looks cool. I played the demo, really liked the demo. Looking forward to the first Berserker Khazan, and I hope you guys are too. Of course, this has been Kind of Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday, we run you through the nerdy news you need to know about live on YouTube, Twitch, and all podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, support us with the Kind of Funny membership on Patreon or YouTube to get all of our shows ad-free, watch us record them live, and get a daily exclusive show. Enjoy Game Showdown next and the stream after, but until next time, Game Daily.